Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine, and welcome to episode 1 of the review show. And this is a new show where I combine lots of things that have been coming into me and give you an overview of each one of them. If you want to become involved or want to be featured, then please get in touch via the Now Spinning Magazine website at nowspinning.co.uk. So in this episode, we will have the new Yes Deluxe edition of Close to the Edge. We'll also have Hawkwind live at the Royal Albert Hall. We've also got Man, a DVD box set. We've got Steely Dan. We have Lee Roth. And we have Mountain, which I should have shown before. And Sharks. And also Nectar as well. So I'm going to also show you where applicable inside the box as well, so you get a great overview of whether it's something you want to buy or you want to have a bit more detail. So I'm going to start with Yes, and what is being described as the definitive version of Close to the Edge. So first of all, let's dive in and have a look inside the box. So this is unboxing Close to the Edge by Yes, the definitive edition. As I said at the very start of this, there has also been other definitive editions and remasters, but going back many years. So this is the first multi-format definitive edition, which follows the Yes album and the more recent Fragile release, which follows the same design. The design is very similar to the Doors deluxe sets and also the one by Love as well. So you open up what as would have been the gatefold for the vinyl album, and you have the CDs on the right hand side, and this includes disc 2, which is the remixes and instrumentals, disc 3, which is the rarities, disc 4 and 5 are Live at the Rainbow in England in the 16th of December 1972. On the left hand side are 2 discs in covers. The first one at the top is the original album. And this is it's a very tight fit on this piece of card, and it's the original album remastered. And the other one is the Blu-ray, which comes with a kind of inner sleeve to protect it as it's Blu-ray. And this has the Dolby Atmos mix 2025, Steven Wilson 2025 5.1 mix, 2025 stereo remix, instrumental mix and stereo master. So they're all, from 2025. They just clip in, as you just saw me take them out here. I'm not a huge fan of that way of taking the CDs out in the little cases. You can see that as I do this, you can't help but bend the edges a little bit. And I just think with each time that you do this, you're probably going to, slightly damage those discs. I'll talk about when I do the full review what alternatives they could have done and why they perhaps done this, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. The record and the booklet sit at the top in this little slot here, and the way this is designed means that there is premium space for what can be put in here, and you have to be quite gentle in how you take things out. And it's important, I don't know if you can see, I'll take the vinyl out, that the way that this is, the way that this is done, you can just see there the corner of the card sticking through this thin piece of card that basically is the container for the vinyl and the booklet. It's important that you I feel, put the booklet in here and don't have the record scraping past this sharp piece of card. That's just an observation. The record itself, it's a great pressing. I put the hype sticker on the outside of this, in which it says it's the remastered original album, Steven Wilson remixes, etc. And as I said, it's a wonderful pressing. The booklet isn't huge. It's album size, obviously. Just a few pages of text. Sid Swartz does the main essay. Then we've got the lyrics, as you would have had, and the pictures, and again some more detail on the tracks that you can find within the set, and then the credits of this reissue. And obviously, if you hold out the whole of the booklet in reverse, you can see Roger Dean's superb artwork. And on the back of the set, again, are all the track listings for all the discs that you can find inside. So now I'll give you my overview what I think. So that's Close to the Edge by Yes, the definitive version. Now, it's my job in doing this and reviewing this because this is all about the physical aspects of the releases as well as just the music. Because most of you watching this know the music. There is some extra stuff with this as well in rarities, but I want to also point out things that observationally that I feel could have been done better or things to look out for. I have this on original vinyl. I also bought the CD from 2003, and I also bought what was classed as the definitive version. When was this? 2013, was it? Which was the Blu-ray disc with Steven Wilson was involved. And I thought that was great. And now we have the definitive version again, but this time it's a multi-format box, which also comes with the vinyl. It's a 7-disc set, as you've just seen. So what are my thoughts on the packaging? Well, it follows the Yes album deluxe edition, and it follows the Fragile one, which is inbound as I speak. The price point is about £100. Okay, and there are multiple ways of celebrating a single album release as a deluxe definitive set. Is this the best way of doing this? As I said, it follows the Doors format, and you open it up and you've got that slot at the top where the record slides in and out and the discs are as they are. The booklet is a bit disappointing, and I guess just for reference, I'm not going to get these out. This is kind of like a benchmark, not the Hooples or the Young Dudes. Outer slipcase, £125 with an absolutely ginormous book, hardback book, as you can see. Memorabilia, posters, the lot. Okay. Jethro Tull. It's more of a book. It's CD only and DVD, but the amount of detail and thought has gone into the release itself. How important is Close to the Edge or any of these Yes classic albums? Machine Head by Deep Purple. Again, doesn't open out, but it has this outer slipcase and a much larger book and the vinyl with the discs in. And then finally, again, these are the same price point, about £100. Chris Squire, Fish Out of Water. Yes, part of the Yes family. Outer slipcase, a very big softback book in the middle of this, of course, which I've reviewed, which is absolutely fantastic book. And then the discs are, as you know, open it out and they're slotted in. I'm saying that because if this had been an outer hard case, and then on the inside you could have had one folder that folded out with all 7 discs safely in place, there would have been more room for a more robust book. And it is Close to the Edge. Are we saying that we hadn't got a tour program to replicate, or to ask the band to give their rundown of the tracks or other things, or other bands talking about the importance of this album, etc., a poster, whatever? Some people might say, well, that's just extra tat. But I do feel as if this could have been better executed. And I'm not a fan of the way that the other 2 discs, because the Yes album was less discs, it's just been plopped onto the left-hand side, because I just feel that over time, getting the record out and these out could be a bit problematic. Okay, musically, perfect. If you've already got these, it's a personal choice, but you are going to get the live concert. The live concert sounds fantastic. I know some people have said it fades in and out at different things, but that could be, I mean, some people have said cynically it could be because they're holding stuff back, or it could just be that something goes wrong with the tape and that's as much as they could salvage. But it is very, very good. And Steven Wilson has done a fantastic job. So if you don't have any other version of Close to the Edge, although I do feel that's probably not, this set isn't aimed at you, but if it is the case, then this is a great place to, it's an entry point that works absolutely fine. The remaster sounds good. The vinyl sounds fantastic. I've got the original vinyl. How does it compare? My original vinyl is 50 odd years old, so it doesn't sound as pristine as it used to. This is pristine. And the The Dolby Atmos mix, of course, is new, and that sounds fantastic on my system. Absolutely loved it. So my criticism is on the execution of the actual design, and the fact that because of the design is what it is, there wasn't any room for a more elaborate book. And I just feel that close to the edge, when you look around at the tool sets and some of the Mott the Hoople set, and I could think of multiple singular album releases like this. It just feels like the book, the album deserves a bit more love in that respect. But the design is what it is, and I know that many people in Now Spinning magazine have already pre-ordered it, and to go along with Fragile and the S album, and so have I. So I've got Fragile and the S album. So and if when Relay is going to be probably done the same way, I'll be there as well. Although I must admit, I imagine that Tales of Topographic Oceans, which is no doubt on this schedule as well, will have to be a separate design, because it's a double album, and there's no way that two albums are going to fit in that size box. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. So that is the Yes album, the definitive edition, multi-format box. Next up is going to be Hawkwind, live at the Royal Albert Hall. You see that? And before I talk about this, let's have a look inside this package, and I'm going to show you the vinyl set and the CD. So this is a look at Hawkwind live at the Royal Albert Hall. I'm going to show you the vinyl version and the CD box set as well. So the vinyl version is a triple album. It's a great pressing even. So it's a triple gatefold sleeve, and you can see here all the words that you get inside the booklet in the CD are replicated in the vinyl as well. Each record has its own picture sleeve, and the records it's a cherry red pressing, they're excellent. So that's the first one. And then sides 3 and 4 are in the centre section. And these covers mimic the covers, the fronts do, of the CD set. So that's sides 3 and 4. And then sides 5 and 6 are here. And again, there's more text on the back of those as well. So the only difference between this and the CD box set is the rehearsal recordings, which aren't included on the vinyl. So the CD is in a clamshell box with all the tracks on the back. So you've got the rehearsals on disc 3, which is unique to this set. And as you can see here, the covers of the discs themselves mimic the internal inner sleeves of the vinyl. The difference being just that the track listings are on the back, and the booklet, it then replicates the words that you get within the gatefold of the vinyl with the same pictures. And very well put together it is. So that's the CD set and the vinyl set, and now I'll give you an overview of what I think. So that's live at the Royal Albert Hall by Hawkwind. God, this is good. It's absolutely fantastic. The last 2 studio albums by this band have been incredible. The one before last, I said, was one of the best Hawkwind albums that had ever been released, which is a daring thing to say when you say something like that with a band who has a heritage and catalogue that goes back to the beginning of time, as Time Lords, Warriors even, on the edge. But so many of you said, you're right, it is. It's like a band reborn. And the last one might have been a notch down from that one, but it was still epic. This is absolutely stunning. Obviously, the CD has the rehearsal takes as well, which are fantastic. But I have to say that disc 1, which is 10 tracks, which I think, where does that go to in the world of vinyl? Which it goes through to sides A, B, C. Is it to D? Bear with me. No, it's just the first 3 sides. So I want to draw your attention to that because it's relentless and it's absolutely incredible. The band sound energized. The performances are fantastic. It's incredible. That opening salvo of 10 tracks is just brilliant. And then disc 2, they've got all the mix of all the talking and the dialogue and everything, and the great riffage of some of these classic songs. But absolutely a brilliant release. I'm so pleased that I went for this. I've got lots of Hawkwind live albums, and I know some are classics, all the rest of it. And you kind of feel as if a band that's in the kind of like, I was going to say that in the twilight of their career, but they're not based on the last 2 studio albums. But you know what I mean. Time waits for no man. But this is stunning. So you have a choice. Triple vinyl, great pressing, great design as well. I would get some polyline inner sleeves if you go for the vinyl, or the CD clamshell box. Absolutely fantastic. So that's a high watermark in my Hawkwind catalogue. Live at the Royal Albert Hall. Next is a simple affair because it's Steely Dan and Katy Lied from 1975. This is one of only 2 Steely Dan albums I have on vinyl. I have everything else on CD, and this has just been reissued. And as you imagine, it's Steely Dan, so it sounds immaculate. It's a great pressing, got the lyrics on the inside. Black Friday is probably the most well-known track, was to me. I guess the thing for me to say as a collector and music fan is that back in the day, in 1975, you wouldn't have seen me anywhere near this. This was something the musos in the music shops selling guitars would have on in the background, or the big kids at school, perhaps. But I didn't know anyone who had a Steely Dan album in my peer group, in my age group. Now, I don't know many people who haven't. I mean, beautiful musicianship, fantastically crafted songs, great pressing. So if you are collecting the Steely Dan vinyl issues, you're going to enjoy this. And if you haven't got any Steely Dan albums, why not? Because I think you'll like them. And of course, if you're a younger person watching this, you're far more broad-minded than I was when I was your age. And you're probably listening to everything all at the same time, everything I've mentioned so far, and go, yeah, that's cool. I always thought that was a pretty groovy cover of all the things stick on the front. Very good. Next is Nectar. Hold it right where it Phil, because that helps. Journey to the Centre of the Eye from 1971. So let's have a look inside the package. This is Nectar, Journey to the Centre of the Eye. Another deluxe edition of a Nectar album from Cherry Red Esoteric. This one is just a 2-disc set. So it's a gatefold digipack with the 2 discs on the right-hand side, and the booklet on the left with an essay with all the information about the album, some great photographs, background to the recordings from Mark Powell. Also the band have some input as well, Derek Moore from October 2024, and then an overview of the tracks, bonus tracks on disc 1, and then also the track listing for the live recording, Boston tapes from 1970, and then the credits for this reissue at the back. So that's Nectar, Journey to the Centre of the Eye. Journey to the Centre of the Eye. Do you know what? I think I've enjoyed this one. Of all the recent reissues of Nectar albums, I think I enjoyed this one the most, and I'm going to be really honest with you. I'd never heard it before. I love Nectar, and obviously the 1973 album, which name has evaporated from my head, is my favourite. And the other box sets, obviously there's more discs, there's more opportunity to turn into a box set. This is just a 2 CD set, as you just saw. But I think this is fast becoming one of my favourites because it has elements of Barclay James Harvest with the double bends on the guitar. It's got the mellotron. It's very prog. There's toll. There's all sorts of instrumentation. The live stuff is really good as well. If you're into British prog, which in Britain we weren't into this band as much as they were in Germany, and now we have a chance to really immerse ourselves in music we missed first, second, third and fourth time round. There are plenty of opportunities, Phil, to listen to this band, but it's only been in the last 10 years that I've actually caught up. But the fact is, we are lucky to be alive at the time when you can get all of these things now and to actually be able to physically have a copy. Esoteric, Cherry Red, just like what I've shown you with Hawkwind, the job they've done there, but this is Esoteric Records, and it's beautifully put together, and it's a great band. And if you're into progressive rock, when it was really at the cutting edge, where these bands were just forging ahead and making their own maps into the world of music without looking back and having lots of things as reference points to copy, Nectar, Journey to the Centre of Your Eye. Right, where shall we go next? Well, we have to go now to Diamond Dave Lee Roth. This is a new limited edition box set. So let's dive in and have a look inside this. This is Dave Lee Roth. The limited 5 CD edition includes Crazy from the Heat, Eat Them Smile, Skyscraper, A Little Ain't Enough and You Filthy Mouth. The Warner recordings from 1985 to 1994. On the back it shows you the original artwork and all the track listings. There's no booklet with this, which there doesn't seem to be with these kind of very quick turnaround Rhino editions. What they do is try and replicate the exact look and feel of the vinyl album. So you've got the disc, and they're also inside, is if there was an inner sleeve in any kind or a lyric sheet, they've replicated that inside, which works really well most of the time. Those of you who remember buying this, which is my favourite, remember that as the inner sleeve and the credits on the back. And the next one was Skyscraper, which is also one of my favourites. And this is where it kind of doesn't work quite as well, only because depending on how visually challenged you are, the lyrics are very detailed and they're being printed in this kind of font, but I can actually just about read that one, so that's okay. The next one, the one that I hadn't had on CD before, Little Ain't Enough, is probably too tiny a font for me, so this is where the booklet would have helped, in that maybe they could have printed the lyrics and maybe a little bit of an overview from Dave himself. And the last one is Your Filthy Little Mouth, which was actually mixed by Nile Rodgers. And this also has the inner sleeve with the credits, etc. and the lyrics on the other side. So that is Dave Lee Roth, the Warner recordings, 1985 to 1994. So that's the set. So what are my thoughts? Well, Rhino do these a lot, don't they? The Van Halen's box sets were the same, the Hager years, Lindsey Buckingham. I think there's others as well, where they're kind of, I'm going to say they were cheap and cheerful, but they're not cheap. They're cheerful. What's missing from them, and I don't know what it is that the powers that be seem to think that it doesn't matter, is to have some kind of context in a short little booklet that gives an overview, whether it's statistical stuff on chart placings, the band, the artists themselves. Surely they'd like to just jot down a few words and record into their own mobile phone what they were going through or whatever, or the context, a booklet. Even if the booklet only has the lyrics in, because I understand the attention to detail in putting the little leaflets and inner sleeves in these, but unless you've got the eyes of a of a hawk, most of the time you can't see it. But I like yes, it's great that you've done that. Musically, it doesn't say who remastered them on the box. So whether it's Bernie Grundman, I don't know. However, what are my thoughts on this? I love these albums, okay? I cannot fault this. So on the one hand, thank you, Rhino, for doing this. Because I only have... I think I've got that on CD somewhere. And you could say, well, it's an EP, so you could stuck the extra tracks on the first one. But it is attention to detail. They've decided to do that as a separate little CD. So tick, I like that. Eat 'em and Smile, brilliant. Classic. Faultless. Absolutely love every moment of it. Sounds fantastic. I do have this on CD, but this obviously has been tweaked to me and it sounds better now. So this is the version I will play. Some people didn't like Skyscraper. I did. And it was even tracks like Damn Good, the ballad. But some wonderful tracks on it. Classic. This one I only had on cassette, strangely enough. And so to hear this now be perfectly remastered on CD is fantastic. This is a brilliant album. It's such a shame about the guitarist who only appeared on this album himself, Jason, but absolutely superb. And the other one, I'll be honest with you, I bought a CD single from this, which I can't remember what it was. I played it once and I think I threw it away. I hated it. Gosh, it's unusual for me. I didn't. I just thought, oh, God, what's happened to David Lee Roth? I mean, I saw him on the, luckily enough, I saw him on this tour. One of the best gigs I've ever seen in my life when he came surfing across the crowd on a surfboard. And this one, I just thought, gosh, it's been produced by Noel Rodgers. What's happening? Played it the other day and I kept waiting for the track that I wouldn't like and it didn't appear. It must have been on there, plus the other tracks, but I think there was No Big Ting, which is the reggae trackish one, but all of the rest, the bluesy stuff, the more jazzy stuff, great album. And so to me, it sits there in my David Lee Roth collection in this little set, proudly next to the others. So if you want to get all the David Lee Roth albums, because you don't have them all already, this is a great way of doing that. Yes, there's misgivings on the fact there's no booklet, but I wasn't expecting one either. But the nice little replica vinyl sleeves with the inner sleeves and lyric sheets is a great touch, and they all sound great. If you're not a David Lee Roth fan, you're not going to be troubled by this. If you are and you don't have all of them, I think for the price point, it's fine. So that's out now, and David Lee Roth. Great stuff, the Warner recordings. Right, as we come to the end of this show, what do we have? The last part I want to show you is Man. I have not watched all of this, but let's have a look inside and I'll tell you why. This is Man. I can't even say that I've come close to watching all of this. This is hours and hours of material. This is a review of the band's career and recorded works from 1968 to 1976, which is called God Walking Past. It opens out to all the discs, and they're all DVDs. Part 1, The Pie Years, 1968 to 71. You've got a few little thumbnails to what you can expect on the back. Part 2, Frankfurt, Monmouth, 1968 to 1971. The Nectar collection, 1972 to 1976. This is obviously Be Good to Yourself, Back in the Future. 1972 to 1976. This is Rhinos, Winos and Lunatics, The Hawkwind Connection, Slow Motion. And 1972-1976, Film 3, Quicksilver Connection and The Welsh Connection. Hours of stuff to read and watch here even. This is Man, God Walking Past, a collection of 5 DVDs covering the band's entire history. So as you saw, this is 5 DVDs basically sharing with you the history of the band Man. 9 hours of footage. That's a lot of Man. But this is a labour of love. And I have not even gone further than paddling around the outsides of this. With the blurb that I've managed to find, this and why this is so special. It's because there are 13 different lineups over a 9-year period of which this documentary covers. And what I want to try and bring across to you, why I feel this is such a special release for those of you who love this Welsh West Coast band, is it features interviews with Mickey Jones, Terry Williams, Deke Leonard. And the reason why I'm saying that is many of these band members are no longer with us. And so, but this is how long it's taken to put this together. But sadly, some of the members of the band have passed away before it's come out. But I can't wait to dive into this. And it's going to take a while, 9 hours of footage. And there aren't many things that get released in over 5 full DVDs in HD. But that's out now as well. I'm just trying to think where the best place to get it from is. I think it's. I'll put something in the comments. It's probably easier than me trying to find it now, but it's well worth it if you're into the band Man. I know many of you are. And obviously make sure you check out Son of Man as well. It's great stuff. And finally, in this series, something I should have covered before Christmas, and I did talk about this actually on the Sea of Tranquility show, but felt I should have done something here as well. And it is Mountain. So I'll show you a quick look inside the box. It's quite a simple affair, but this is what it looks like. This is Mountain, featuring Leslie West and Corky Lang live in the UK. Bit late showing you this one, but I felt it was worth including it in the first review show of 2025. Basically, you've got 6 CDs from gigs from 2005 and also 2002 across the UK. There isn't any booklet in it at all. It's just a fold-out sheet with some live pictures. Would have been nice to have some background to the gig. And the set lists are similar, but obviously these are great improvisational musicians. So you can see the set list didn't vary that much, which I'll talk about in a moment. And the covers are all roughly the same. And on the back of the box, as you've just seen, are the discs and all the track listings. That's Mountain, live in the UK, basically around the 2003-05 period. There's no booklet. I would have liked one. There's a fold-out poster. They all sound great. They're probably that kind of. They're all recorded from the sound disc. The track listings are quite similar. There was quite a lot of stuff from Cream was included as well, which I know they were influenced by Cream, but it was kind of like a hidden thing, wasn't it? Are they? Weren't they? But there was some great stuff on it, and I've said before, you can't have too much Leslie West. Like in the UK, we say you can't have too much Rory Gallagher. Leslie West is one of my favourite guitarists. He had the perfect guitar tone from really metallic sound from the 80s, 90s, whatever, but that blues feel. And of course, the other thing, which is his secret weapon, is his voice. Some great singing, great performing, Corky Lang as well. Wonderful stuff. I'm just trying to think what the highlights for me are. I mean, it's recorded in like Wolverhampton, Manchester, Sheffield. But Why I Sing the Blues, Theme from Imaginary Western is on here. Immortal Mutant X, Mississippi Queen, Politicians on here as well, Sunshine of Your Love. So the set lists don't differ that much, and the sound quality is good. But of course, Leslie West never really played the same thing exactly the same twice. So you're not getting the same set list. It's really well done. And that's out again now via Cherry Red. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, if you want to get involved in the review show, please get in touch via the website. Thank you for being here. Remember, music is healing the doctor. Become a YouTube member or patron. Get discount on merch. You get access to the Now Spinning Magazine Facebook group and the WhatsApp group, and invites to the Now Spinning Arms virtual pub meetup as well. So take care, keep spinning those discs, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.